What is up, guys, and welcome to December, man. How are you doing, John?
I'm alive and kicking.
We missed you last week.
Yeah, and I am beat today, but hey, we got to do a show.
Yeah, got to do what you got to do. Appreciate you being here, man. Grant will be in here shortly, guys. He's running a little bit late. I don't know what he was doing, but he's got some pictures. It looks like he was outside today.
All right, David Martin's are already, and Wild Japan's here already.
Good evening, guys.
Yep.
Appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us tonight. We got a topic of discussion here. This popped up in the server, and I don't know what to do about it. So I just threw my hands up and said, "Screw it! I'm not going to do anything about it. I'll let everybody else decide, figure it out."
What's up, Peter?
What's up, Peter?
The old lake trout versus the rainbow trout, huh?
So we got this gentleman in the server by the name of Cold Water Species Enthusiast. And just for the record on this, I'm blowing this way out of proportion. It wasn't an argument. It was a very simple conversation. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to run with this and go full YouTuber on it. But basically, so Cold Water submitted this rainbow trout for the server record. And Steelhead Toucher said, "Nope, sorry, bud. I've got one that smokes yours. And his is a steelhead.
Right.
Cold Waters is a rainbow trout." So the discussion is what do we do with this? Is this two different records? They are the same species?
I think I'm trying to remember because I got involved in that discussion a few years back up north. And the distinction, one was like landlocked, and one could still go out into river and get wherever they're going. So I think the steelhead is the one that is landlocked. I could be wrong, but I think really that's the only difference is the situation they're in as far as where they were hatched. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think for the server for records, maybe keep a steelhead and rainbow trout, but
if it was that easy, the other way. If it was that easy, I would do that. But we are going to set the record straight for the rest of the entire world tonight.
Okay.
And I thought it had something to do with that's similar to what I heard, but it's a little bit different. What I heard, and this was like a year ago when I heard this, and also I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I was under the impression it was a rainbow trout until it was able to make its way to the Atlantic, or something like that, and that's when it became a steelhead.
I guess that's possible. And some rainbow trouts, like in New Mexico and all that, never get to the ocean.
They're
rainbow trout their whole life. But I knew it was something like that.
I don't even know if that's accurate. If there's anybody in the chat that has some input on this, please let me know, because I don't know the first thing about any of it.
David Martin just said he asked AI. So go ahead and tell us what the AI said, David.
You game on.
Oh, you do that. I'll do this.
Let's see I've got some things to say about that, but let's hear what AI has to say. What I was just doing a thing on that earlier this week. We were asking AI something, and AI was on a little tangent there. But like AI will give you an answer. It doesn't have to be right. They will just simply give you an answer. What's up, Outdoors Fishing Dream? Good to see you, man. How have you been?
Glad you're here. All right. Steelhead versus rainbow. Now, growing up in New Mexico, we caught a lot of rainbow trout, and I'd never even heard anybody say anything about steelhead, so I knew it wasn't. They're landlocked, can't get to the ocean. I guess they stay rainbow trout.
But they are the same species. Like, they'll breed, right? Like,
yep. It's weird.
And also, I guess it should be said, it should be noted. Now, we are figuring this out for the purposes of the entire world. We're going to set the record straight, period, bar none, across the board. That having been said, Coldwater, he submitted a 16-inch rainbow trout for the server record. If we decide that these are going to be two different, records that need to be done in the server, are we accepting a 16.2 that looks to me like the ruler is stretched a little past the nose? Are we accepting that as a record?
It might. Well, is there one just like a quarter or a half inch smaller that was submitted?
There's a couple of guys that they were part of this conversation, and their immediate response was like, "Oh, I'll get you a 19 this weekend."
Well,
I'm like, "All right, this is what we need."
Let's see the 19. All right, Wild Japan steelhead run to the ocean. Yeah, so that's what we're talking. The problem is that over time, the genetics between landlocked and ocean differ. Yeah, there was a Doberson. Spelling might be wrong. Comes in. I don't know what that means. Doberson?
He says Doberson and steelhead and rainbow genetics. So they're not the same genetically. They can still breed, though.
Well, David said they're not even the same thing. I could have swore they were.
Closely related, not the same thing. That's what AI says.
AI is an idiot. That's just because AI can't fight me. I guess it could digitally. I'd have to be careful.
Man, I wish I had that conversation from earlier this week because it was just dead wrong in the answer that it gave us. Wild Japan says Doberson are steelhead, and rainbow are genetics mixed. I guess.
Miss or mix?
He said mixed after that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's all weird. You know what? It's a fish.
They're all speckled trout.
See, now I catch a 37-inch steelhead, but I want to call it a rainbow, and I'll destroy that 16-inch record.
Right? Dude, that's my sentiments exactly.
I bet it didn't go that went to the Atlantic Ocean.
Go drop a few rainbows in the Atlantic and see what happens. Yeah, they both. That's a hell of a point. They both taste wonderful. I agree. One of my favorite eating fish. The rainbows, not the steelheads. That's gross.
Ridiculous. Oh man.
Yeah, Edward, I know you're having tough times right now. And I haven't been in touch with you recently about that. My apologies. But I will. I've got a few things to hand your way. It's a discussion that we need to have behind the scenes if and when you have a moment. Nothing outstanding, nothing that I get all excited about, but at the very least, get you some help. Point you in a direction.
They both taste wonderful. It's tough, though. How do you handle that when somebody says, well, this is a record rainbow, and then someone else is like, no, that's a steelhead. Yeah, prove it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I mean, so we have species, not exactly like this, but obviously down here we've got, we have the same discussion. We mentioned this probably twice a year about whiting and kingfish, about speckled trout not being a trout, and of course everything's a perch.
Right. Yeah. So David's saying that in Newfoundland they call them by their type. So these are trout, right? And we have different types of trout. Like you're saying salmon. We have different types of salmon too. So you can say it's a trout and you're not wrong. But when they want to take it down to rainbow versus steelhead and all that, that's where they all start arguing. Yeah. I say they because I don't give a dookie on it. I'm not catching either of them right now.
Yeah. Which they're in the process. They're in the process of stocking these guys in the area around here. You turned me on to that a while back, and I had a blast the last time I went and did that.
About that
and
time.
The video was a complete dud.
Really?
So as much fun as I had, I'm like going again full YouTube on it, where I'm like, there's better things I could be doing with my time. Which isn't accurate.
Them here. But I'd like to get into them here on the Guadalupe.
That would be fun. Who is that? Is that Danny Baker that does that?
Yep.
It's Danny and Good Life. Hadn't seen him in a minute, but that's high on my. I would love to get into rainbows. We go up to Wisconsin. I've fished for them several times up there. I've never got one. I got a massive sucker that I didn't eat. I don't know why.
You should have ate it. That'd been a video.
I don't remember what the deal was. We were in Wisconsin, so whenever I start pulling that stuff, you know, my in-laws start getting like, you're being a little weird, you know?
Sucker's a thing they eat in Michigan. I mean, they have a run on the river. They have these giant dip nets that are multiple people operated. They stay there all night just drinking and eating and dipping the nets and catching sucker, and then they smoke them.
You know, that's probably why Wisconsin is so against it, because the Michigan people do it. So the Wisconsin people are turning their nose
yeah.
up.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to be like them.
Yeah, that's Michigan crap.
Look at them having so much fun. We don't want to do that.
Yeah. They're highfalutin when it comes to their fishing.
Oh, man. Now you got to take it political. I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, they did pass Amendment 2, so there's that for Floridians.
Yeah. No, that's the tariffs. It just depends on the country and what kind of fish it is. If we can raise it locally in the States, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know how many, like, on that note, since we're going to get all like political and so like, this conversation is going to go that direction. One of the things that I am like, you know, like I'm a bit of a conservationist, more so than I preach on here, and especially more so than my persona will allow. But if to protect species, if that meant that we were not able to harvest as much, and I mean we, when I say we, I mean commercially. I don't mean recreationally.
Yeah.
But if we weren't able to harvest the quantity that we are now in order to protect and be more conservative, and that meant that there were less fish in seafood restaurants and or that fish was more expensive, I support that. You know, like if that's the direction, the actual thing we're talking about. Now, if we're talking about, you know, we need to hammer down on the recreational guys so that restaurants can keep their prices down, screw that.
I agree.
Oh, he says, had no choice. The political is affecting our Shimano reel.
Hey, they need to do like Toyota. When Toyota faced tariffs, they just open plants here in the States and build their dang Tundras right here in San Antonio.
Yep, exactly right. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of those Toyotas with a big old Texas sticker on it.
Got one. Well, my daughter has one, but her and my wife just swapped vehicles. So now we got her old beat up Tundra. And I say beat up, I mean that thing is beat up.
Yeah, they take a licking. I don't know. I mean, it's American made, it's Texas based and all that. So obviously I'm a little bit biased. I know that, you know, back in the day, Toyotas were one of those things like that one that was in Back to the Future that Marty McFly wanted, that lifted one with the roll bar. Like I still to this day want a truck with a roll bar just because of that movie. And I know back in like those days, like those Toyota engines used to last forever. I assume they're better now, but I assume they're still good now, but everything seems to be disposable these days.
Yep.
You know?
Yep, that's true. That is true.
All I know is I'm not fond of the luxury brands. I'm not fond of Mercedes and BMW.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Like $400 for an oil change is not worth. I
would agree, but freaking diesel costs about $400 for an oil change if you don't do it yourself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You do it yourself. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Peter, that's right. I forgot about that. He drives an FJ Cruiser. That thing's 13 years old. Wow. I had no idea it was that old.
Ashley got her truck new, her Tundra, in 2012. So it's 10, 11, 12 years old. So yeah, they run, but she didn't take care of it mechanically for crap. So now I got to deal with it.
You traded in all your work on the boat for the work on that truck?
Part of it, yeah.
Appreciate that, Martin. Yes, please, if you don't mind, give us a thumbs up. Help us out a little bit here. Gets a little exposure and stuff like that, all the YouTube things. 11
Oh,
years
it's just 11 years old. Shoot.
Yeah, that thing's still
young pup.
Yeah. You know, we talk about that, dude. I've got that Chevy, and you know, I put money into it. Like, I work on that thing. I put probably $5,000 into that truck this year, but it's been 6 or 7 years since I put a dime in it, and she still drives fine. Good truck. It's 2006. Almost 20 years old now. One more year.
Huh. That's pretty neat.
I'm wanting. Oh, go ahead.
Thailand Fishing Expo on Friday.
Hey, nice. Are you going? You going to be there?
Cool.
And if you are, send pictures. Dude, Roger, my sentiments exactly like that. Dude, that $5,000 that I put into it this year, like, that hurt. That was not pleasant. But man, that was way less than whatever car payment I'd have had for the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't beat that. And so, like, in everybody's ears, like, I know everybody's ears are going to perk up at this one. It's the work truck model. So it's got like rubber floorboards. It's got it's AM FM radio. Like, there's nothing to steal. There's nothing to break. It's roll down windows, and it's a standard transmission. Like, you don't get that anymore.
Yep, that's true.
If it's broken down on the roadside, hit the pedal, it's a cartel hitch. That's funny. They're doing that here now too. Like, they'll park on the side of the road, and then when you go to help them, that's when they get you. I've heard that tactic.
That's messed up. Stick shit. Ultimate theft protect. It is nowadays.
You drive it. I know that I'm probably not going to make this, but it would be a dream of mine to teach my daughter how to drive on that truck. I would like for her to be able to say she knows how to drive a manual transmission. And she's starting to drive now. We actually did a little bit of driving over the weekend, let her drive, and
wow,
we're getting there. I know, right? It happened way too quick.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does.
Aeon didn't make it. Traffic jam and money. I hear you on that one.
Yeah, the money thing especially.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeeps. That's another one, man. Can you even get a manual Jeep anymore? I thought there was only like 2 brands that even made manual transmission.
You still get a manual Jeep? I would think so.
Those things look like electric shavers on the inside nowadays. It's not like it used to be, you know, pseudo military, you know, real simple. They're not like that now.
No. Are you sure they're still head and not rainbow trout?
Yeah, what are your 2 cents on that? So the discussion here is we got these 2 guys that submitted these. They want these records for the Discord server, and one's a steelhead, one's a rainbow trout, but they're the same thing. What's your 2 cents on that? They're the same thing, or do we need to have 2 different records for 2 different species in there? And also, where's, like, you need to be in the Discord. If you're getting steelhead, I want to see pictures of that.
David, good one.
That's funny. Now he's got you've created a thing. So every time before the show, John gets a kick out of sending Grant messages behind the scenes to harass him about showing up. Grant will be having dinner or doing something, you know what I mean? It'll be like 15 minutes before, and John's sitting there harassing him on the phone.
Telling him he's AWOL.
Doing it.
I did it again this time too.
Even though you knew.
Yeah. Of course.
While Japan says, my last U.S. car was a manual transmission. My Helix was also a manual. Dude, I think we're all on the same page. You know, they're not as good nowadays. Automatic transmissions are just better. I think they really are. I think they've perfected the automatic transmission. But I love standard. I like.
I think my last standard was. I think it was back when I had a 2000 Corvette. It was standard.
That's a good car to have standard.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I bet. What happened
but
to
my
that?
problem was, as an only driver, you just don't want to park where people are going to hit it with doors. Got to be careful on speed bumps because it sits so low. And so it's like, I sold it. But now I would own another one if it wasn't my only driver. You know what I mean? I don't want it as a daily driver. Too many headaches.
Oh, see, I'm the exact opposite. It's like if you can't use that as a daily driver, then what's the point? And I know there is one. That's my thought.
Parking at Walmart, parking on once, and it's going to get all beat up.
Yeah, you got to park on the outskirts. So that's one of my issues too. Is I'm a fiend about a good parking spot. I'll sit there and drive around for half an hour looking for the right spot. But if I had that car and it was my daily driver, I'd be out there on the outskirts of the parking lot getting my exercise. So those are different species. These are the same species.
Yeah, that's what people say. So, yeah, those would all be different, David.
It's a weird distinction.
It is. That's why there's so much
epitome of the weird distinction.
See, he's saying. So in the Great Lakes, it's hard to draw the line. He said he's caught some big river rainbow. Hard to tell the difference. Yeah.
You know, that's what they were telling Coldwater, and they weren't being mean or anything, but they were telling him like, go get a good fish. And he was saying like, well, you know, they just don't get that big here because they're not steelheads. But I mean, physically they could. Oh, that's, yeah, you know, I didn't think about that. Larger trucks, are there more or less of those that are standard transmission?
Larger trucks, more and more automatic transmission.
Yeah, don't, like on the old 18-wheelers, didn't they have those things were like 12 gears or something?
Yeah, I think so. Jeep Rubicon Hurricane is still a beast. I would think so.
I'd love to be a Jeep person. I would enjoy owning a Jeep.
I've owned lots of Jeeps. I just haven't owned one in a long time.
We had the one growing up. There was a year. My family is really interesting about midlife crises. And so like they have multiple midlife crises. And so one year the midlife crisis was everybody had to get Jeeps. So my dad got a Jeep and we would there was like 4 or 5 of, you know, all my aunts and uncles. We'd all go to the beach with our like bunch of Jeeps and stuff back before that got weird.
Coaster Bookies? Coaster Bookie. It means Brookies, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Brook Trout.
With an R, yeah.
How big do those get?
Yeah. I've caught a few of those, northern New Mexico, and I caught one in Michigan too, matter of fact.
You know, here's an interesting. So from my perspective, would we do a different record for what are the different snook? Like the river snook, the long spine, whatever the regular one is.
What about amberjack?
That's different. That's an amberjack, you know, like
there's greater amberjack, there's lesser amberjack.
Yeah, those are different species. That's like the difference between a black tip and a spinner.
Okay, all right. I don't know. They're still jacks.
I smell what you're stepping in. They are still jacks, but so's a Jack Crevalle.
Yeah, but he don't look like the others.
He doesn't count.
He doesn't count. Yeah, brook trout.
Man, you know, speaking of which, John, I didn't get to talk to you. Like, so last week, you'd heard I went on my hunting trip and then I went fishing. So when we were out there was a raft that we came across. And we were fishing that thing, and there's some Dorado and stuff on it. So we had some baits out, and we had all these little jacks that were tearing up our bait on that raft, a bunch of babies on it. And so I hooked into one, and I dragged him up to the boat. And he was a little guy, like 20, 24 inches, somewhere in there. And so I had him up next to the boat, and I was letting him just splash around. I was doing the figure 8 to, see if it would draw in a bigger predator from around, maybe a wahoo or a dorado or something would come by, seeing what was going on. And we'd kind of been playing with that all afternoon. We weren't really paying attention to it, but if we did hook into one, we would do that, and then they'd get off, and something. But then my uncle tells me, he was like, he said, that's it's that other. It wasn't an amberjack. It was a. God, it's the other one, not the lesser amberjack. It's
I couldn't think of the name earlier either when I was trying to name them.
Gosh dang it, it's right there on the tip of my tongue.
Amico?
Almaco, that's what it was, an Almaco. And that's a prize catch. That's a freebie. If I'd have known that, I'd have been fishing those things up the whole afternoon. And I didn't even think to check. I just assumed they were, when they're smaller, like an amberjack looks like an Almaco, so I wasn't even paying attention. But I would count those. I mean, those are 2 different species. I would have those as 2 different records. So can I get you guys in the chat, give me a vote here. Should we let me know. Should we let Coldwater have, well, he's actually lost, but should we let the other guy have a rainbow trout record and then let Steelhead keep Steelhead? Or should it just be the Steelhead and call it a day? Just the one record for both?
Yeah, the only problem with that is, like others I think have said, the rainbow trout's not going to get as big, so you don't have a chance to get the record if you're not, where the coastal areas are. That's what he was saying. Roger says they're definitely different. They deserve 2 different categories. Peter, 2 different categories. All right, so I'm going to catch a 25-inch steelhead, say it's a rainbow, and how are you going to prove it's not?
That's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to catch a 25-inch steelhead, and they're going to be like, well, I don't have the server record, but I can go ahead and submit it for the rainbow. How do I tell the difference? How do I tell that guy no?
Yeah.
Let me know how we need to be having that discussion.
That's tough. I'm not sure. That is a tough one.
You know how to actually have the answer for that. I'm going to go out and I'm going to catch a 28-inch speckled trout. And that I'm just going to, anytime they ask me something about it, I'm just going to submit that. I'm just going to show them a picture of my speckled trout. It's a shame, but deep down, I don't know the first thing about trout. I'm a saltwater guy.
What are those species of trout? Yeah, there's tons of trout. Lakers are the biggest. Yeah. So you get one huge laker, it puts out everything else
out, yeah.
No, yeah, it's got to have separate. Each trout subspecies, or whatever they call them, rainbow, brown trout, brook trout, cutthroat, all of them should have their own category. Now, the only issue is when people, argue what we were just talking about.
So also, I'm not going to say that this needs to be in consideration, but I would appreciate it if it was maybe in consideration. This is a lot of work putting together the slideshow. And if I have to do a different record for 40 different trout species.
Oh, you do.
I'm just gonna end it all. I'm gonna jump off the cliff, dude. I'm going Game of Thrones right out the window.
You can't just say trout. You got to have rainbow, brook, right? Because then a brook trout never gonna win.
It wins our appreciation.
Poor little guy.
Poor little guy. You that little 12-incher is
That's the right size for a brook trout.
Little grandma 12-inch trout. Needless to say, I didn't think this thing entirely through when we started doing server records. I didn't realize how much work I was making for myself. On top of what we're doing with the waitlister stuff. I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
They are tasty. I love trout. I'm trying so hard. When we go to Wisconsin, I try so hard to get into trout. I'm not good at it. I'm not quiet.
There you go. Do it.
Just do it. I mean, for some of those guys, I'll be honest, there's some guys that submitted records for like a Gobi and some weird stuff. I don't even, let me look real quick because I got them like right in front of me here. So some of the records that we have are for, we've got a 14-inch crappie. We've got a Gobi.
That's nice. Gobi.
Tuatog, that's okay. Okay, we have one gentleman who submitted, and I'm going to be completely honest on this, submitted absolute garbage photographs of a ladyfish and a gaff top just to have the server record. Well, here you go. So who's to keep somebody from catching a walleye and submitting it as a saw guy?
Yeah, they look same to me.
Yeah, I can't tell the difference. I don't know the first thing about it. Actually, we do have a guy who did a lake trout. What's the difference between lake trout and the other guys?
Lake trout's the one that gets the biggest.
Okay.
And they're
I'm also gonna have to pass off some of this work on you there, John, because let's see, so if we have people doing white bass and hybrid bass.
Look, I'm getting ready to retire. I don't know if I should be taking on more work.
I thought that meant that means we get more work out of you.
That means I get to do less stuff.
We got a record. We have a record for shad and red horse sucker.
Okay, red horse sucker. People get excited about those. I know.
Really?
Shad, come on, that's bait.
Well, you know what? Okay, I agree, but check this out.
People eat them too. I know.
Let me. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show it to you. So, because this is a solid shad, it really is. Like it's one that's like, okay, I'll accept that. And it's also one of those where it's like, the gentleman doing it doesn't have many other, many options what they're able to get.
There's a couple different kinds of shad now too. So, Jiminy crickets.
That guy right there.
What the hell? Are you sure that's
nearly
a shad?
4 pounds. That's a shad.
There's a thread fin shad. There's whatever the other one is. So there's different kinds. Yeah, you need more records.
My drink. Get out of here with that.
Everybody, next time you throw the cast net, grab a couple of them, measure them up for them.
Hey, there you go. So next time you catch yourself a pike, just submit it as a chain pickerel.
Yeah, again, that's another one.
It's that easy, man.
How big was that gaff top? I might have to go back and look at the one I submitted for big fish so I can.
Oh, you should. Let me see. Yes, please, because I would prefer. Like I'm all about it. I support this guy for he took his time. He's on there because he did what he needed to do.
All right.
But the photo he submitted was garbage, and now I'm going to pull it up.
Call the poor guy out.
I am. So this is the gaff top, and it was 21.5 inches. Pickles. Take better pictures, man.
Yeah.
You threw him in the boat, threw a tape on him. I get it. You followed all the rules. You got the record. You did the right thing. But next time, dude, get us a good picture. He's the one that did the ladyfish, too. Somewhere right here. I don't know where, but I think he did the Spanish mackerel also. I don't know.
All right,
but it's
Spanish mackerels acceptable.
I allow it because, so my thought on this, why I'm allowing it, and this is a fail on my part for not having finished this off, but I can beat a 22-inch gaff top. I can beat whatever it was he got with that ladyfish. And the Spanish mackerel was the same way. It was my intention just to go out and beat his record, and I just didn't do it. That's on me. So
He's
that's
still
why
the champion. He's still the champion.
You got it this year. Next year, I'm not letting that happen, man. Enjoy your win, and we still got a couple weeks left. So we've also got some photos we're looking at tonight here in just a minute.
Lakers might be good smoke then if they're greasy.
Yeah,
oily.
Smoked trout, smoked lake trouts. It is good. I will say, if you like smoked lake trout, do not eat it as your meal when you are driving from Michigan to Wisconsin via the UP. Your hands will get all slippery on the steering wheel. I'm just give you some insight on that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is there really anything that's not good smoked? Like,
usually things that don't have a lot of fat content don't turn out good smoked. There's better ways to prepare them. That's why salmon, smoked salmon, all those real oily fish.
yeah.
That's why they do them. Is
those come out exquisite, but at the same time, like I smoked a bunch of bluegills. They came out good, whiting. I'm not going to say it was better. Absolutely was not. But it was good.
Yeah, Roger, that's the same thing. I was telling them up in Michigan, they have a certain time of year they run the Omer River, and they're using these huge dip net things that multiple people operate, and they just stay out there, set up a camp, and dip these things, and then smoke them right there on the site. They're good, definitely.
That sounds wonderful. I'm going to do that next time.
Mark J, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Appreciate you coming hanging out with us, sir. How are you doing? He's been killing it. Have you seen his most recent videos?
I haven't seen much of nothing yet. No, I have not.
Busy time of year.
Is he doing coyotes again now? What are you trapping now, Mark?
You name it, he's getting it.
That's good.
I don't know. In fact, I'll venture to say I probably have not seen all of his recent videos, but I did catch a couple. And he's getting so. You know who knows? Grant hasn't. He'll be able to tell you about it.
Hey, there's the last guy.
Sheesh, it's been a long day, fellas. It's been a long day.
Dude, I hear that.
Oh,
David Martin gonna send me the link to the show, like I don't know what's going on or something.
We were laughing about that because
yeah,
we were telling him how like John always harasses you before the show, and we were like, yeah, he's like getting like David and everybody in on it.
Double whammy.
I expected the AWOL message from John. No,
we were having a good laugh about it because he did that while he was there. Like we were all talking, so we were having a good laugh about it.
Gotcha. It's about probably 9:45, and my belly was like, Janet, did you bring any food? No, we don't have any. So we had to make a run to go get some bacon and some breakfast ham, and we don't have to worry about going all day without eating tomorrow.
That's good.
I'm sorry, Grant. I apologize, and I count you as one of my all-time closest friends, but I've got to call bullshit on that because I've seen this.
Oh, we have to have bacon and ham for breakfast.
Okay, I can respect that.
I'm not shooting any deer this year. Janet doesn't like deer bacon. Actually, I'll eat deer bacon, but yeah,
I'm curious about that. So when I dressed out those deer that I got, I don't know the first thing. It's all just meat to me. You know, I know my cuts are already there. I'm able to break them down, but I've got tenderloin and backstrap. That goes to Rachel. She's got recipes. That's all on her. Mm-hmm. Everything else is hamburger and sausage. And so, and I had the bacon, and I was like, man, I bet this would be pretty good. But everybody was like, nah, just throw it in with the hamburger. And I was like, I know I'm doing that wrong, but I went ahead and did it.
I just don't see enough fat on at least the deer here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were scrawny.
Yeah, we had one process, and they actually made pepper deer bacon. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. What's up? We go fishing. I was late too, man. Don't worry about it.
It's that time of year. Yeah, don't even sweat it.
Yep. I was almost late, but I wasn't.
I was late. I was the one here on time, and I was still like I showed up 6 minutes before the show.
Hey, don't forget, you got photos for tonight?
Yes, I do. Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on 1 second here. Just before we do that, I have to bring this up. I have to show this one. Okay, so last week I had my hunting and fishing extravaganza that I did the prior weekend. And so one of the things that I did was I was pretty proud. I got 2 does, which, you know, to me, that's big time meat. It is South Texas, though, you know, my big time meat. Both of those does probably dressed down like 150 pounds or something like combined. So, but my family, Rich, my father-in-law, is up with my nephews in Wisconsin, and they're hunting big time stuff up there. So I got the first deer. My immediate thing was like, okay, I'm going to blast this out to them now so that for at least a day or two, I can have like the deer record for the year, because that doesn't happen. I've still got the record. They're going muzzleloader for the next week. They've got 1 week left. And I've still got the record. However, we got this. My nephew Bryce got himself a good little doe. My other nephew, Owen, I have to say, I got to give him a big pat on the back. He had opportunities for a couple and he turned them all down because he was waiting for something big. And I commend you, Owen, for your patience on that. And then this is my brother-in-law's family, what they got out on their land.
Oh, okay. Nice buck.
So yeah, congratulations to you guys on a heck of a trip.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. That was Rachel, so that's her brother's kids.
Gotcha. And that was her brother that shot the buck?
That, I don't know. I think it was I don't know the relation. So it's my brother-in-law's wife's dad's wife. You know what I mean? Like it was her side of the family that got it.
That's out there.
Gotcha.
But the whole family got involved on it. It was good, and it was a good hunt.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you.
So that was that. You guys ready to look at everybody else's shots, see what they've been doing all week?
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Got it here. Give me 1 second. Let's kick on some tunes for this.
Got to get these socks off, man. It's been a long day. I'm glad that season's in, though, man. It's crazy how we went from freaking summertime to wintertime.
Dude, it did. It flipped like immediately, didn't it? All right, here we go. These are our photos of the week. These are brought to you by the premier fishing and hunting Discord server. If you have not joined, you need to go ahead and jump in on that now. There's a link in the description down below. Come and share your hunting and fishing experiences with us so that we can enjoy them vicariously right along with you. First things first, those guys who went outside and just enjoyed some fresh air.
Nice.
Bailey, Steelhead, and NF Fishing, who is new here. Hi there, NF.
Some pretty scenery.
It's a pretty picture,
Definitely.
yeah. Just making everybody envious with this good old-fashioned outdoor shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then next up, we have EVR, Flip, and Gunpoint Llama. Everybody's getting their hands on some steelheads.
Trouts? Walleye or whatever they got over there?
Gunpoint, yeah, a couple of walleye.
Yep.
On a jerk bait. I don't know what he's doing going out there at night.
I think that was during our stream last week, wasn't it?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that was from during. He was fishing last week during the stream.
You're right, he was, yeah. And that was, he was fishing, but this one was from the day after.
Oh,
Or he posted them the next day. Maybe he was probably fishing that night and posted the pictures the next day.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next up, we got, I can't see the gentleman's name in the top left corner. My apologies. Steelhead Toucher, Moneybag, and Bailey.
Yeah, nice pile of ducks, man. If we can get in the right spot. We had last pick today. There was 5 people, 5 groups in standby, and we got last pick. So there wasn't a whole lot to choose from. So I just picked one of the last blinds, just because it's so much easier to hunt out of a blind than it is the boat.
Yeah.
But Saturday opening day, there was 7 standby, and we got 3rd pick.
Nice.
So it wasn't too bad, but there was 5 more spots open this morning than what there was Saturday. So there was way less to choose from Saturday. We got a better spot today.
Video. You need to make that a video on YouTube. It's just straight up last pick. Can we get ducks? And then you use footage from when you actually get ducks. Some other time you're like, yeah, we did it. Make sure your hair's cut the same.
Yeah, I ended up getting 2 today. That was that picture you showed earlier.
Nice.
I took that today.
I thought that was today. Yeah. We were talking about that for a minute before you got here. Oh, Bailey, just for the record on this, 27. That's how many he got.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hell of a haul.
That should be at least, well, here you can only get 6 apiece, so what is that, at least 5 guys?
I didn't ask. Not my
Yeah. We got checked Saturday when we were leaving. The game warden was checking people, and he come down there and checked us, and once he got done, he said, well, I got to get back up there. My partner's writing tickets. And there was three guys standing up there getting tickets, apparently.
Last weekend, and it was a little white knuckle, change and adapting and stuff like that. But last weekend when I got those does, that was the first time I've ever had to fill out a tag electronically. And I had no phone signal. I was in the middle of nowhere, so I was really nervous. We had to drive to the road to get a signal to, do them.
Huh.
That did them immediately, but that was a little white knuckle driving down the driveway. Next up, we got Trim and WV, Rupert, Nathan, and Lizard Guy. Lizard Guy, I give you a huge pat on the back for your presentation on that, but I think I'm going to go with just about every other fish here.
Yeah, don't even know what that little thing is over there.
Dude, yeah, a goby? I don't know. I don't even know what this is. I mean, that looks like something that I would eat in a video. Once.
Not me.
Not a fan of the tag. I don't mind it. It was actually a much easier experience than I thought it was going to be, because I'm like, I never tag anything, like I don't ever keep like a 40-inch redfish, and that's what I normally get into. So I don't know, but when it was all said and done, it was a lot easier than what I expected. I'm not going to complain about it, but I hear where you're coming from.
I have to fill it out still. The craziest thing with Texas Parks and Wildlife is anybody, even out-of-staters, can get non-resident license online. All right? Anybody here can get their license online, unless you're a disabled veteran. Then you have to physically go in to a place that sells license to get your license. I'm like, isn't that a little backwards? Disabled
guy?
Everybody else? Yeah.
I like it. Finally, some equality.
So yeah, I got a paper license.
Hey, Monica, how are you doing? I notice you're going live again. Congratulations on that.
Yep,
My
I made the
apologies for
first
not
one.
being there.
I made the first one, missed the second one.
I caught them after the fact. I didn't realize. I'm not getting the notifications because YouTube being YouTube, but I will be keeping an eye out for it. I promise you. That's what they all say.
Monica have to do some ice fishing if she's going to go fishing. It's getting cold, a lot colder up there.
You guys got plans on that, Monica? Y'all gonna do some ice fishing?
Yeah, they're supposed to be in the negatives, wind chills. I think Thursday night we're going to be in the single digits.
She's thinking about ice fishing. Awesome.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Until then, she does art and she does live stream with her art. Check out the channel if that's something you want, like just a cool experience hanging out in. It's a fun one.
Yeah, Big Hit Savage been at it again, wearing them out.
Yep. And Cold Water, just tearing up them steelheads. And that's Big Hit. That's his personal best. I think it was like a 7-pound bass that he got. And then I'm not sure. I think one of those is that 14-inch crappie. You do pond fishing when it's iced over? Is that a thing?
Guess if it gets thick enough.
Yeah. Fish are still there. Got to eat.
Those.
It doesn't get thick enough here. It's rarely. It probably has a few times, but it's been rare. We might this year. It stays cold like it has.
Good luck on that.
Well, I don't want it to freeze because until after duck season, after January 28th, it can freeze.
All right, next up, Nady Matey, Rupert, Carlos, and Daniel with our first fox.
Pretty.
Yeah, it is. Nice. And Carlos, that's one of those fish again that they're not from around here.
There you go, Monica. Get you some electric stuff. Janet just got some electric socks she tried for the first time today.
What, you have to like plug them in?
They've got batteries. They've got a little pouch like below the knee, above your calf, a little pouch on the outside that you put the battery in after you've charged it and plug it in.
Can you have imagined 20 years ago we'd be living in this kind of world where that exists?
Yeah.
Stuff like that's weird to me.
You got to keep them warm.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that.
Them toes get cold. It's miserable.
I don't do cold. It is not my thing. It is 67 degrees right now, and I'm literally like bundled up in my house. But I do want to try shanty fishing once.
Yeah, or if somebody has one of those like RV on the ice fishing spots that want to invite us to come to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if John can handle that, but Grant and me, we're down.
Those got heat and everything. It's good. It's okay.
You're up for that?
Right.
That would make a great, like, another rendezvous.
We gotta look those up.
I have this like vision of like the electric socks just being like this thing that you plug into the wall outlet with just like a wire wrapped around your leg. You know, like the exact thing you don't want in the bathtub.
Right.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, but also you got to get your time away every now and then. I respect that too. And next up, we've got, he's new to the server, Lizard Guy in Greece. Is that a badger? What is Wolverine? What is that?
Badger, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's
so blonde.
Yeah, maybe it's a color
face
phase or something.
Yeah, the face definitely looks badger to me.
I saw a photo of a blonde raccoon earlier today on Facebook. Very neat. Crazy.
So real quick, I'm not going to pull this up. I'm going to let you enjoy yourself, do your thing, whatever. if you have not subscribed, you need to do so now, because we are having a whole lot of fun in the chat over here that I'm not even going to bring this up on screen, but it's just a good time. You need to be here for the live stream in order to really enjoy that. Just saying.
Nice.
Yeah. I want in on that conversation, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys do your thing on that. I'm a traditional camper myself. I'm not like, I don't like a whole lot of electronics and stuff. Now, that having been said, my daughter and my wife don't mind it if we're a little bit more comfortable when we're out camping, and I have enjoyed those experiences. All right, and now it is that time. We need to crown ourselves a photographer of the week. We're going to see who's going to be the winner of this week's contest, and we are down to the last 3 weeks of this. We don't have many winners that are going to be added to the 2024 Wall of Fame. This is your last couple of chances, guys. This week, our options are Truman WV with a nice buck, Daniel with our first fox, and Big Hit Savage with a personal best bass.
Oh, man, that's a tough one, actually.
Votes, guys.
Yep.
I cast mine now. You know what?
I just wish the light was more on the fox.
I like that photo. I really like that shot. But Truman's my boy, and we actually don't have many deer in the on the Wall of Fame. That's why I'm casting my vote. We don't have many bass either, for the record.
Big
so
hit.
if someone's going to get a record on, if someone's going to get added to the wall with a bass, no problems with Big Hit Savage being the guy doing it.
Well, I'm going to vote for Big Hit Savage.
Me too, because I think he probably took the picture himself, and that means something to me.
True. Yeah, that, you know what? That says a lot. You're right about that.
Good job, guys. Nice. Congratulations on the deer, Truman. That is cool.
Looking like the fox has it so far with 4, right?
Hey, Janet.
What's up, Janet? She must be out of the shower.
Get them electric socks on. It's cold.
She should be
We
charging.
got another. You're charging. That sucks. Wrong time of day to be charging them.
No, she doesn't need them out at home. She needed them out there this morning when it was 21.
If your house is anything like mine, being 67 degrees, you need them electric sockets. That has absolutely nothing to do with my old man get off my lawn approach to controlling the thermostat.
Yeah,
I roll that thing with an iron fist.
Keep ours on 69, so it's not too bad.
I think that might be all.
I try not to turn the heater on until February. We got about 30 seconds here, guys. Right now, it is Daniel is winning. He's got 5. Big Hit's got 3, and Truman's got 2.
Heck, there was a couple weeks in November we'd have the heat on at night and the air on during the day. No lie.
Yeah, we had days like that.
That's rough. Yeah, we're real bad about fluctuating temperatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least the air on in the evening to let it cool down because it was 80 from her cooking.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I think that's it. We're going to call it this week. Congratulations. Newcomer Daniel is our winner with that awesome little fox that we're adding to the server. Also, a big pat on the back to Bailey, Steelhead Toucher, Flip, Rupert, Lizard Guy, and Big Hit Savage. You guys are all taking home the weekly Waitlister Award. We appreciate you guys sharing your experiences vicariously with us. And we look forward to seeing all of them other amazing things that you have in store for us in the coming up in the server. Anything that you guys got? Gentlemen, what can we expect to see from you coming up in the next week? What do you got for us this weekend?
I got no idea. Maybe I'll shoot deer or something.
Sounds good.
We're rooting for you, man. I want to see big things, and I'm looking forward to a video on that. Maybe we can drop, maybe we can drop simultaneous hunting videos later this month.
Maybe.
Yeah. What's up, Bait the Hook? I don't know if I'll get to a video. I shot one Saturday and I shot 2 today, and I was recording all 3 shots, so it was rough today. It was definitely not like the first Tuesday of last season when I killed out by 8:30 or whatever it was. Yeah, it was rough. No, Janet shot at the first one I shot. She shot at it 3 times, and then I shot it, and that's the only duck she shot at today. I mean, it was rough. And the second one I shot, she never even seen. So there's ducks around, and it's early, but this weather up and down, they could be in Tennessee one day and back here the next. You never know.
Yeah.
Early morning.
We got Wild Japan. Sorry, Wild Japan's going to be doing some camping, trying to figure out if he can fish the stream over there. Janet says she's struggling.
She hadn't shot since whatever the end of duck season last year, January 30th or whatever. We didn't get out shooting in skeet. That makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. I didn't get sighted in before I did my hunting trip last weekend. And it shows. And I feel your pain on that. So you're not alone. You're not the only one dealing with that. We Go Fishing has some review videos to get out, experimenting with a reaction style video for one of the fishing trips. That's awesome. Looking forward to seeing that, man. I'll be in the comments on that as soon as you post, like immediately. We've got Monica, should have some fishing spring, summer season on everything else Moni channel in the next couple of weeks, possibly an actual video where she can't just fish. Awesome. When you do, let us know just in case the notifications don't come out, because we'll jump all over that. And I'm still editing videos. I've got 2 from last weekend plus another one prior to that I'm working on. So I'm hoping to get 3 videos out this month. They're all in the editing bay. So that's what we got going on. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate having you here, hanging out on the holidays and everything else, keeping us warm. And we look forward to seeing everything that you're going to be doing next week when we do this all over again. Have a wonderful night. See you next Tuesday, guys.
Peace out.
Have a great night.